Hello and welcome to my creative castle. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies, and I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. So I mostly knit and crochet by feel. And in today's video, what are we doing here on Tuesday today? Because you guys know, if you're a returning viewer, I don't always have a set schedule. Tuesday, today, we are celebrating my 200th video on YouTube. In just under 8 months. Tomorrow will be official, 8 months on YouTube. But I am so excited, you guys. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of my viewers. Okay, that means so much to me. That what do I say? That you choose to come back and to hang out and spend a little bit of your day with me. Because when you watch my videos, you invite me into your home, into your space, into your life. And well, I invite you into my home right here, right? Into my space and into my life. So that means a lot to me. A huge, huge extra shout out and thank you to all of my subscribers, because you know what? That's what YouTube cares about, So that means a lot to me. That's what tells them that people really enjoy the content. That's what helps us get monetized. I'm not yet monetized. I don't get ad revenue yet. But that's what tells YouTube. That's how they make their decisions. So a huge, huge thank you. So, how's everybody doing? How's your weekend out there? Did you see my tutorial over the weekend? I released my fancy and faux fur hat. It's a free knitting tutorial where I teach you how to make this hat. So, did you see it? Did you make it? And really anything that you've seen on my own designs on my channel, right? Did you see it? Did you make it? I want to hear what yarns you use, what colors you chose. I want to hear your experience with the patterns, like the socks. OMG, do you love these socks? That video's getting some views, so thank you. Are you making them, right? And these are great beginner socks, right? They're in a DK weight. Yay for that, right? Only 40 stitches around. Now, if you're a returning viewer, by the way, or if you're new and you don't know, I did also design a pair of socks for Sock Week this summer. Can't believe I didn't bring those in here with me today, but I did. And those are in a fingering weight, and the Hawthorne fingering, you can also get that for free on my channel. So I absolutely love being here. I have been knitting and crocheting. Well, I've been knitting for over 16 years, since 2009, and crocheting for over a year. Not 2 years yet, though. Can't say that yet. But you know what? Now, I wish that I'd done YouTube sooner, because, hey, then I might actually know how I did some of the stuff that I made earlier. If you've missed it somehow, I am wearing a dress today that I designed myself. And then knitpicks we crochet caught Lynn. And guess what? I didn't take any notes on this dress. I was just making it for me, which was good. But now I'm like, wow, I wish I'd made some videos. I wish I'd talked about it. I wish I'd taught other people how to make that pattern so I could reconstruct it. Because, by the way, if you are visually impaired like myself, it is in the color Blackberry, a beautiful dark purple. Absolutely love it. So I do wish that I've been able to teach other people how to make it. But maybe we'll figure out how to reconstruct it anyways, right? So one thing I did say on Mondays with May, how did you like that? Seeing the tutorial and then seeing the Mondays with May, watching the process, getting to see how it's made. I kind of thought that was fun, but I want to hear from you, the viewer, on what your experience was like with that. So I told you that I really love novelty yarn, right? This faux fur, this is the faux fur, fairy tale fur, and it's 100% polyester. I love this stuff. I always get sad when it gets discontinued, and so I want to help encourage other people to buy it. So I'm trying, pardon my neighbors, nothing really that I can do about it. It's legal to shoot on private property where I live. I live in the United States, so we just have to deal with that. But anyways, I'm trying to create some designs, create some patterns to really help other people get interested in this yarn. So after I did that, I've been making some, I'm like, you know what? I got some viewers that knit, and I love that. And I got some viewers that crochet, and I love that too. Now, I knit and crochet, and of course I want you to knit and crochet, but hey, you know what? If you're just doing one, that's okay. But I do hope I get you excited and inspired to try the other if you haven't yet. I really don't know why it took me so long to get into crochet, because I do love it now. So I have been working on my prototypes of making a crochet version of my fancy info for hat. What do you think of that? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see a tutorial on that? Let me know in the comment section if that's something that's interesting to you. I made my first prototype in the andesite, a nice thick gray, and then made my second one in the haibu, which is like a gray, kind of a teal. So what do you think of it? Do you like it? And if you crochet, do you want to learn how to make it? Okay. So what did I say on Monday? I said we were going to have some yarns from a company that I've never purchased from before. So I am absolutely going to share that with you. Yeah, and you guys ready? Look where our yarn is from. It is from Purl, Soho. And if you are visually impaired and you don't know how to spell purl, it is P-U-R-L, as in knit and purl, not as in the P-E-A-R-L. Soho, S-O-H-O, out of New York. Just a small L-Y-S that have now, of course, have joined the internet so they can get yarn all over the world to us. So now I said I've been following them for years. They put out a lot of free patterns, which, hey, we love free patterns. I'm not saying that we shouldn't pay designers, because as somebody who designs my own stuff, I know it's a lot of work, right? It's to try after try, attempt after attempt. It's a lot of work. But at the same time, you know, when you don't have money or whatever, we love free patterns, things like hats, we love that. So Purl Soho puts out a lot of free patterns. I've been following them for a long time. They also put out a lot of really great educational material on their website, videos, articles, really, really good stuff. So I've been wanting to buy their yarn for years, but hey, if you're a returning viewer, what do you know about me? Yeah, I love a yarn sale, right? So I've been really waiting for their yarns to go on sale. Yeah. Now they are, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, they're higher end yarns. They're kind of what people think of as pretty bougie. They only do natural fibers. So now I know some people don't do natural fibers. I know some people only do acrylic. Sometimes that's budget. Sometimes that's fear of I don't know how to wash it. Sometimes that's I'm afraid to work with expensive yarns because I might wreck it. Some people are allergic to the wool. Okay, but they do have some cottons. They do have some 100% organically grown cotton blends, some cotton linen blends. And today, though, we do have animal fibers. We have what they call their 9-note bundle. Yeah. So the 9 notes bundle is 9 50-gram skeins. They are each 100 yards. They are 80% extra fine super wash merino and 20% alpaca. They have presently, I think about 12. Let's take a look at that and see if I can find my other phone back. We'll take a look at the 9-note bundle.
System UI. Enter password.
Yeah.
$99.
And it's even on sale right now. At the time of the recording of this, the 9-note bundle is even on sale right now.
Not checked begonia.
Begonia.
Not checked dragon fruit.
Penny.
Not checked pomelo.
Pomelo.
Not checked.
So they got about 12 different colors.
These very special gradient yarn sets are made
It's a
with an incredible
gradient
mix of
yarn
fiber,
set.
50% of the
Gorgeous,
softest
gorgeous,
extra fine.
gorgeous.
Not checked mulberry.
And that's what I got. I got the mulberry, which is supposed to be a gradient of 9 different shades of purple. And they take these and they start with the dark color. And then they just add a little bit more white so they get lighter and lighter and lighter. So altogether, I have about 900 yards of this 450 grams. I want to hear from you. This is on sale. It just said $99. Okay, so I know for some people, right, with 9 skeins of yarn, $99, that's $11 for 100 yards. I know for some people that's 2IN. Yes, it's high end. This is hand wash, so if you're afraid of natural fibers, you're allergic to wool and alpaca, wouldn't be for you. If you don't do hand wash yarn, might not be for you. But if you love all those things, it's a great time to get it while it's on sale. It does cost more than that when it's not on sale. I, of course, did get it on sale, okay? I got this on the Labor Day sale when it was about the same price there, so $11 a skein. Beautiful, beautiful yarns. I'm really trying to decide. Let me know, have you bought the 9-note? Have you bought from Purl Soho before? I love their ethics, okay? I love what they stand for. When you read their yarn descriptions, they talk about, you know, participating in free trade. We're down in South America. They do a lot of their stuff from South America, making sure that, you know, that there's good working conditions, that animals are treated ethically. That's important too, right? That we're supporting companies that have values that we believe in. That's good. And sometimes for some of us, that's worth it. I know not everybody can shop that way. We can't always, but for me, that's important. So when I have the opportunity, I only have 2 yarns from them to share with you today, because I really do have to wait till they have sales, okay? I do. That's just life for me. But when they put this on sale, I've been wanting to try it for a long time, and I thought, let's have a special treat to celebrate something really special on my channel. So I brought the 9-note bundle to share with you. They do have a free pattern. They give you your free tote bag with it. It comes with a free pattern with a QR code to it that has a wrap that is knit in seed stitch. They give you the free pattern. Well, the pattern comes with it, right? How to do it exactly to get, you know, your color transition so that they each start at, you know, you don't have color changes in the middle of your row, that kind of a thing. I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I do like seed stitch. I think it's beautiful. I've used it on trim on certain things, but I don't know that I would do a whole wrap in seed stitch. I'm kind of saving this for a special project. We don't know what yet, but you know, I want to hear from you. What is the special project that we should make with our 9-note bundle? Do you think we have enough to make a dress like this? I don't know if we do. We might have to make like a sweater, like a short sleeve sweater or tunic or something with it. So I'm probably going to start at the top with the darkest color, work my way down to the lighter colors. That's my thought right now, but I want to know what your thoughts. What do you like to do with these gorgeous, gorgeous gradient yarns, right? I want to know from you. And they also did send me a little free mini skein. I think this is about 25 grams. I don't know the yardage on this mini skein. My apologies. I should have looked that up. But this is called their June worsted, and it is 80% organically grown cotton and 20% linen. That's right. And the dress that I'm wearing, right, is the cotton from knitpicks, which is 70% Tangleys cotton, 30% linen, and a DK weight. So you know, you've seen me. You've seen how much cotton I have. You know that I love it, right? Well, guess what? This is a worsted weight cotton. Let's take a look at the size of the strands on this. Look at that. That's a nice thick cotton. And guess what? I mean, you guys know I love knitpicks and we crochet because they got really, really good color descriptions, right? But guess what? I'm real with you and I'm honest with you on this channel about yarn. This cotton linen blend is softer than the cotton of my dress. Okay, it just is. Now, cotton does get softer when you wash it. Without a doubt, it does. But this June worsted is softer than cotton right on the skein, right? So I don't even know if this one's going to get softer as we wash it. If we do, that's pretty amazing. This is so soft right now. I'll probably, and it's only 25 grams, but I'll probably knit or crochet up like maybe a washcloth because it's so soft. I would this is definitely like washcloth. Not even, I wouldn't even say like dishcloth, okay? Like, you know, I like to make dishcloth. I wouldn't say dishcloth. I would say washcloth. I would say something that you want to, like, you know, put on your face. So with this little sample, maybe a washcloth, maybe a hand towel. I don't know if I have enough for a hand towel or not. Probably not, because 25 grams, probably just washcloth. But it is super, super soft. So, and guess what? Because you know I love yarn sales, I will most definitely be watching their website and looking for when they put the June worsted cotton on sale, because for sure I want to try more washcloths. For sure I want to try hand towels, but even more than that, I want to try garments with this, right? This is a nice thick cotton and it's so soft. I would definitely make myself a top out of this. Okay, this is for sure next to your skin, like maybe like a shawl. This could be shawl yarn. This could be like top yarn, probably, you know me, probably skirt yarn, probably dress yarn with me, right? I think, I don't know how much it's going to shrink, okay, because some cottons definitely have some shrinkage, so there's that. But sweaters, cardies, if it's machine wash, didn't look that up. I could say that you could do baby stuff with it, but it might be hand washed. So there is that factor that we'll have to research. But I'll try to do a dishcloth or something with it, or a washcloth with it at some point and give you my opinion. We'll find out if it shrinks, all that stuff. So love that I got a little sample. Love it. And the other yarn that we got in the house from knitpicks is simply yak. That's right. You've seen yak on this channel before, right? Well, guess what? This is 100% yak. Yeah, free range, free roaming yak, free to be yaks. And they just comb this right off of them. This is so. Oh, what I was going to say about the 9-note bundle, that is considered a DK or light worsted yarn. Okay, so your knit gauge on that is about 5 to 5.5 stitches per inch, right? On a I'm trying to remember what size knitting needle they said to use with that. I want to say 5 to 7, or maybe 6. Maybe they said 6 to 7, 5 to 7, somewhere in there. With that 5 stitches per inch is right at the edge of light worsted, which is what they said. They say it's DK light worsted. That 5 stitches per inch is right at the edge of being a worsted weight. So for sure light worsted. That 5.5 stitches per inch is your DK range. So that's what I qualify that as, just based upon their specs. And I would probably, with that, I'd probably use like a 5 or a 6 knitting needle would be my guess on that. So the Simply Yak, same thing. It's listed as DK or light worsted, size 4 to 6, US size 4 to 6 knitting needle. So that's your 3.5 to 4 millimeter knitting needle, and the same gauge, your 5 to 5.5 stitches per inch. So the same thing. So the Simply Yak is also a hand wash yarn, okay? And so that's something to consider, right? This is going to be hand wash. It feels, they're saying the gauge light worsted. I like the size of the strands on this. I definitely would say it's right in that range. It's right at the edge of DK to light worsted. That's the size of it. These are 109 yards for hank. This does come in hanks, right? Just like the 9-note bundle comes in hanks. And they only have 2 colors of this because we're just letting the yak be natural, right? So you got your natural taupe, your natural brown. I went with their brown. I don't know that I have enough of this to make a full sweater either. You know, because it is high end. I'm just gonna be real with you. Natural free range yak is high end. So this is $30 a hank. So, you know, we might just be thinking like hat and gloves and scarf or something like that. I don't know. But it's gorgeous. It's super, super soft. Yes, it's all that you'd want in a yak, right? It's scarf yarn, okay? This is scarf yarn. I touch it on my neck, touch it on my cheek. This is absolutely scarf yarn. You can put it next to your skin. I would absolutely make a next to my skin sweater with this, cardi, shawl, all the things that I say yes to for next to your skin garments. So probably wouldn't do blankets with this stuff because of the hand wash factor, but you'll have to decide. They do have a pattern for the 9-note bundle, by the way. They have a pattern on their page to make a blanket out of it. But just remember, there's alpaca in it and it's not super washed. So, do you want to hand wash a blanket? I don't know if I do. But that's an option. So I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts on yak fiber, on free range, free roaming yak fiber. They're a big believer in, making sure that animals are treated humanely. That's important, right? If we're going to use animal fibers, that they come from places where the animals are treated humanely, because we certainly know that we hear that in debates and discussion between acrylic versus animal fibers. Some people who are only into acrylics will say they don't like the way that animals are bred for fiber, that kind of a thing. So it's important that we make sure that animals are treated humanely. So this is gorgeous. It's supposed to be really warm. It's supposed to be it is soft. So I'm excited to figure out what I want to do with these yarns. Also, I definitely got these on sale. They do put their yarns on sale. Look for the sales, right? Just like I do. Look for the sales. So this yarn, I got the 9-note bundle on the Labor Day sale. The yak, they did a solstice sale, right? Which is the first day of fall. They did a solstice sale where they put yarn on sale. The yak was included in that sale. And then on top of that, so this was like 20% off because it's, $30 a hank. And then plus, for my purchase of the 9-note bundle, they sent me a $25 gift card. Yeah, so I really was able to get a good deal. That's the only way I was going to purchase this, is if I was able to get a good sale. Okay, I wanted to get it in the house. I wanted to show it to you. I have yak blends. I have 2 yak blends in the house, right? I got like the Yakish from Knitpicks. I got the yak from Lion Brand, but those are like 15, 20% yak, something like that, 50% yak. And I was like, I wonder what 100% yak yarn's gonna feel like. Yeah, it's nice. Super nice. So that is so cool. I'm so happy that we can, discuss these yarns together, right? So those are the yarns. So if you did only tune in today to talk about new yarns, that's totally okay. It really is. It's okay. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about, if you're a returning viewer and you don't know yet, because I'm visually impaired, you heard it on my other phone, I do use a screen reader. And so I do have my earbud in today. Right now I'm getting a phone call right now. I think it's from my mom. So, Anyway, she knows if I'm filming, I'll get back with her. So, anyways, that's why I'm a little bit distracted though, because my phone's ringing in my ear and my earbud. Yep, it's from my mom. So, anyways, what was I going to say? So, I know things have been, it's October, right? We're headed towards the end of October, and I know things have been a little bit different on my channel for some of you. Might be a little bit surprised, right? Because, you're seeing October is Blindness Awareness Month, right? And as somebody who's visually impaired, I'm really committed to using my channel and using my platform to do educational stuff about people who are visually impaired, things that can help people who are dealing with vision loss. So yes, knitting and crochet are my hobby, okay? They are, and I love yarn. When I say I love yarn, I love yarn. Yeah, and I love to knit. I knit and crochet every single day. It brings me joy. It brings me happiness. It brings me peace, and I want that for you too, right? So, and I want to share that with you. It's getting me a chance to really create. Having this channel gives me the opportunity to design, to create. It's encouraging me to really explore, crochet more, to design, right? Like, I don't know if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I don't know if I would have designed a crochet version of my fancy info fur hat? I genuinely don't know, but I just know that I made a knit one and I didn't want my crochet viewers to feel left out, right? So I'm like, I gotta make something for them too. And so I absolutely love being here with you every single day. I really do. That means so much to me. So it encourages me. I'm here for me because I love it and I enjoy it, but I'm also here for you, my audience. So I'm trying to make things that are interesting for you, trying to encourage you to do, step away from the pattern a little bit, design yourself, explore yarn, hear about your projects, right? We're a community here. Just because I'm recording, we're a community here, so I always want to hear from you in the comments section. And I thank each and every one of you who has chosen to write me a comment. I try my very best to get back to everybody. Now, sometimes I do miss comments. YouTube, I think it's like any other social media. Sometimes they don't even notify. So I've had comments on my channel and they don't notify me. And so my apologies. If I missed your comment, my apologies. I try to like it. I try to love it. I try to get back to you, right? That means something to us, right? When I have a Facebook account. I don't use it that much. I really don't enjoy it that much. But when you actually take your time to write to somebody, that meant something to you, right? And so you want to hear from that person. You want them to at least like it at a minimum, right? At a minimum, could you acknowledge that you read it? And if it meant something to you, you can love it. But you know what? We find out on those platforms who our comments mean something to, right? Or like, you know what? Don't really enjoy that. You're clearly not that interested in hearing from me. So we move on from those people, right? And so I certainly get that. And so I do my very best to show my appreciation. So if you write me a comment, I definitely want to get back with you. I definitely want you to know that all of your comments mean something to me. I try to love them when I can because I want you to know that means a lot to me, right? So I know that it means something when you take your time to write to me, right? So I kind of move on from people who, I'm like, nah, I got better things to do with my time. People who appreciate hearing from me, right? So I do my best to get to you and acknowledge you. I do use dictation on my phone though. So if my comments come back a little choppy sometimes, maybe some words are a little off or something, I am using dictation. Right now, the dictation is like inserting random punctuation in anytime that I pause. If I'm dictating a comment, trying to get back to you, and I pause, a lot of times a dictation will put a period in there. And I'm like, no, it's a comma, right? I'm pausing to gather my thoughts. But the dictation will just stick a period. I'm like, so I don't always catch it. So if my commas come back with random periods, random commas, random question marks, my apologies. I do know that, I didn't mean to put a period there. I can't always fix it, right, when I'm dictating. It misspells words. My apologies if I can't correct that. Like purl, P-U-R-L. I know how to spell knit in purl, but usually it spells it P-E-A-R-L. Same thing I've explained to people about Whip Wednesday. I know how to spell Whip Wednesday, W-I-P. If I don't type that in, it will spell it W-H-I-P. And here's a great and funny one. DK, right? A number 3 yarn. D, the letter D, the letter K. I know that's an abbreviation for double knit, right? Well, when I dictate, a lot of times it spells DK, as in D-E-C-A-Y, as in, like decomposing. My apologies again if my dictation gets that, something weird in the comment section. But I will try to get back with you and at least thank you for watching. So it really does mean the world to me. So that's really, really, yeah. And so I also, being here, yes, I am creating my own designs. And you've seen me get stuck, right? You've seen me work on I should have brought the blue tank. I should have brought more of my own designs in here today. Yeah. But I did the blue tank top that we made. You've seen me get stuck. You've seen me get stymied. You know, the truth is we can't force creativity, right? When we're making up our own stuff. So we don't always, you know, I may not always have success with my projects. You may see me work on something and then just say, you know what, we frogged it, right? You might see me, I still love working other people's patterns, right? This Carolina poncho from Crystal at Bag O' Day. You know, and it's fine to do that on YouTube as long as you acknowledge it, right? I'm not claiming that I designed it for even a moment. Crystal did that. I'm just, you know, making it with my hands, and that's what she wants. Just like I want you to make my patterns, she wants you to make her patterns and me. So, and when I put it out there, I help, you know, provide her with advertising, right? That I say, hey, you can get this from Crystal. So that's a good thing for me to promote her channel, right? It's the same thing with my Cardi from Juan the Yarn Addict. I can put that out there, and that helps you discover projects that you might have not otherwise found. So anyways, so I love being here because it's really challenging me, right? If I'm going to be here talking about knitting and crocheting, then I really have to know my stuff. I need to challenge myself with new skills. And so I love that. So I hope that I'm going to be here talking about knitting and crochet with you, right? For a long time. I really do. But I don't know. I am putting out content every single day. I don't know if I'm going to continue at that pace. I definitely want to hear from you on your thoughts on what you enjoy the most. What's your favorite stuff? Do you like yarn unboxings? Do you like yarn sales? Do you like the Finish Your Fridays where I go over patterns? Do you like to see my own designs? Do you like teaching stuff? Do you like tutorials? Like, what do you want as a viewer? I definitely want to hear from you with that. And let's see, what else did I want to talk about today? Oh yeah, I love the challenge of being here, right? Like if I wasn't here, I don't have any idea if I would have actually taken on, right? This is my granny square skirt that I did. Now the squares came from Jada and Stitches. I didn't design those, right? But once I made them, I was like, what am I gonna do with them, right? And so finally I was like, you know, top, bag, which we did make the bag too, right? We got the tote bag, but I ended up making a skirt, and I've been wanting to design or knit a bottom-up skirt for a long time and had never ever done it before. And so I hadn't even made one before, and I just jumped right into designing a bottom-up skirt. And you know, your math is different, right? Because the shaping is going in reverse, right? When you start a skirt at the top, your shaping starts at the top and it gets wider, and you work it with increases, and you have to do your math backwards to make a skirt bottom up. You have to start it and then do your decreases. So I love being here because I don't have any idea if I would have actually ever taken that on to design a skirt, right? My very first bottom-up skirt. So I love it because I'm always like, what's out there? What are people doing? What would people want to see? What would people want to learn about it? How can I maybe explain something in a different way that I've struggled with? Because that's the thing, right? There's a lot of knitting and crochet channels. And so I'm definitely here to say, okay, when I listen to videos, this is what I struggle with. This is what isn't clear to me. This is when the light bulb came on. And I just want to give another perspective, right? People learn in different ways. Different things click for different people. And so sometimes I have to watch certain techniques over and over and over on a variety of different channels before I find somebody who can explain it to me, like that magic ring. You don't even know how many different channels and different videos I had to watch on the magic ring before I could get it. And I was like, oh, and then it clicked. And I'm like, of course, right? But it took me a long time, and I had to watch it in so many ways. So it's okay if you struggle with those things. By the way, right? I'm just trying to put material out there. Even I sometimes feel like the knitting and crochet genre of YouTube is really saturated because there's just so many channels. Some days I'm like, everything's been done. That's what I'm like, oh my goodness, everything's been done. But you know what? Sometimes I still come up with new stuff, and I love it, especially when I combine knitting and crochet. That's what I love to do, and I feel like that's where there's all kinds of new territory still, right? So that's where I love to go with it, but I do know that's not for everybody because some people just knit, some people just crochet. But in terms of the blindness stuff, I know I've been putting a lot of that out through this month because I'm really committed to doing that, at least for October. I know some of you probably are not interested. I know some of you aren't interested in the cooking videos. if it's on a topic, like if it's cooking, we'll be in the kitchen. So if you're not interested in that, and you see me in my kitchen, well, if you're just here for yarn, it's totally okay. But, those might not be videos you want to watch. I'll try to put it in the description box. I am still committed to doing that. When I started this channel, I was like, we're going to talk about visual impairments because I really see that it's just not there on YouTube, right? The material's not really there. And so I am most definitely committed to using my channel for that, right? To educate, to provide material out there for people. That's a commitment for me that I want to put out there. But I know that the majority of you are here for yarn. So hopefully there's going to be yarn content always. And if you don't want to watch the visual impairment stuff, that's totally fine. If you ever do need it for yourself or somebody else, it's going to be there for you. I know this month I did a Tuesday Talks on organizing our yarn and our color projects for yarn, but also just in life, right? I talk about clothes, I talk about spices, how we can organize other aspects of our life as well when we're visually impaired. So if you're just here for the yarn, that's great. I have another Tuesday Talks on accessing patterns when you're visually impaired, and that can also be yarn projects, knitting, crocheting, but it can also be life, right? How do we access the internet and information? And I have one more Tuesday Talks coming up for the last Tuesday of October on shopping. Yay, shopping. We love shopping, right? I'm sure you can tell. If you're a returning viewer to my channel, you know I love shopping, right? Because we got yarn unboxings all the time. Yeah, so you know, even though I'm visually impaired, I've clearly figured out how to shop on the internet, right? And so that's a common question that people ask me is, how do you shop? And do you provide, and do you prefer shopping on the internet versus in person? So we have a whole video coming up for you on that topic as well. So I am really undecided about how much of that to continue with after October, because I know that's not for everybody. So I'm struggling right now. I'm still gonna be there. I just don't know if it's gonna be as often or not, or we're just gonna kind of be peppered in there with different things. I know that there's still gonna be some cooking videos. Maybe, I don't know if I should just try to keep those on Thursdays, is that, because that's kind of a day that I don't have anything real specific for on my channel, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of open. We can, sometimes we do yarn reviews on my channel on Thursdays. Sometimes we do yarn sales, that kind of a thing. It's kind of an open day on my channel, so that might be the day when we do cooking. So if you see me in my kitchen on a Thursday, you might be like, no, that's not for me. That's totally, totally fine. If you're unsure, right, I've said it so many times, your time is valuable. We are absolutely flooded and overwhelmed with content in this world. And so, we only have 24 hours in a day that we can, do life, right? And so, it's fine if those aren't for you. Check the description box. I'll put it in there. If it's about, something that has nothing to do with yarn, it's gonna be in the description box of what's going on in that video. And you can be like, you know what? That's not really for me. And that's totally, totally okay, right? It is. So anyways, I think that's all for now, but I definitely want to hear from you about any of your thoughts on the recent content, on any of the recent content that I put out, right? Tutorials, anything like that, what I've made, the blindness awareness stuff, more or less, yes or no, is it make it or break it for you if you see a cooking video on my channel? You're like, nope, I'm unsubscribing, I'm only here from yarn. I don't know. I just feel like that's something that I need to fill, that gap. I feel like there's just a big gap on the internet, on YouTube, on that kind of educational content. And I really feel like that's something I can do on disability topics and even mental health, because if you don't know that yet, yes, I did go to 10 years of college. I have a master's and doctorate in psychology. So sometimes we do Not Your Therapist Thursday on Thursday, right? So sometimes I touch on mental health stuff, other stuff as well, causes that are important to me. So I'll probably still continue to pepper in some of that stuff in, you can decide, right, on what's for you. So Anyways, my friends, I think that is all for today. I think I've said more than enough, right, about what's upcoming, our crochet. I hope I can get this crochet tutorial for you guys done. I feel like, look at, can you see the difference in my two versions? I got two versions of the crochet version. Can you tell the difference? You want me to put them on? This is I think my final version of the crochet one in the high boo, and this is the anthracite one. This is it. So let me know which one you prefer. Let me know if you want to learn how to make it. Let me know which one you prefer. Let me know if you spot the difference, if you're sighted. Yeah. Andesite is I think I said anthracite. Andesite is the name of this one. Yeah, alrighty. Well, thank you so much for listening. And you know what I have to say, right? Creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me, which is not in color, not in a day, or you don't see it all. Creativity is for you, and whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or weaving or carving or whatever it is that you do, today is a great day to craft and create. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye for now. Hello, I'm back again for a correction to my video. You guys know that when I say your time is valuable, I mean that. So I want to put out quality content. So I do preview my videos before I post them. You don't know that I don't really have a lot of editing skills. So when I misspeak, I can't try to find the clip and then clip it out and put in what I meant. Like, I don't have the ability to do that. So instead, when I have a correction, I will just try, if it's before I upload it, I will try to put in something at the end. If not, it will be in the description box. And I will put all the corrections in the description box as well. So look there for corrections in my videos. But the first one, when I was talking about the purl Soho, the 9-note bundle, at one time I said that was a super wash merino. It's not, okay? It is a hand wash, non-super wash. So if you get that and you wash it, it will shrink if you machine wash it in hot, that kind of thing. It is not super wash. My apologies, okay? And then the other thing is, I think I said the yarn at one time, I said it was from knitpicks, because, I do the majority of my shopping from knitpicks. I said it was from knitpicks. It's not. It was from Purl Soho, okay? The 9-0 bundle, Purl Soho. The Simply Yak, that's from Purl Soho. And then the other thing I thought we'd add it on, because, hey, we're doing a little addendum to the video, is they sent me another sample that I completely overlooked in the package, and it's a sample of their yarn. It's called Sweetgrass, and it's a fingering weight yarn, and it is 65% organic cotton and 35% super fine alpaca. It's a nice yarn too. I'm gonna be honest with you, it definitely feels like cotton. I'm not really feeling the alpaca in it really that much. So it's soft. It's softer than a lot of cottons. But I'm not really sure if the alpaca is really noticeable in that or not. I'm guessing because of the alpaca, it's a hand wash yarn. So I don't know for sure what I will do with this yet. Because, not making like a washcloth or something, even though it's a soft cotton. Not going to do that with an alpaca hand wash. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. Don't know if it's a yarn I would buy or not. That's the interesting blend. Really haven't bought any cotton alpaca blends, but that is out there. I wanted you to see it. It's called Sweetgrass. So here it is. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much. And again, my apologies. That's the corrections. Always check the description for those. Okay. Well, thanks so much for listening. Happy stitching. Bye-bye for now.
Recording button.
Well, guess
Double
what?
tap to activate.
Like PPS on
System
the letter.
sound volume set to 0%.
Right? Because it is Blindness Awareness Month, and I have been talking a lot on my channel about my 3 guide dogs. I thought it'd be really fun. I know that I don't always put all my videos through the editing app, so I don't always have a chance to put photos in, but since I am putting this one in the editing app anyways and mashing up some clips together, and I've been talking about my guide dogs, I did put in 3 pictures at the end of my 3 guide dogs so that you would have a chance to see them. And if you are blind or visually impaired, I want you to know what those photos are. So the first one is a picture of Albie and I, my 2nd German Shepherd guide dog. He is in his harness. I'm in a long black wool coat. It's daylight. We're standing outside in my backyard in Portland on our way to catch the bus to work. The second picture should be my 3rd German Shepherd guide dog, Rosie, a huge, beautiful sable. She's sitting up in an airplane seat. I told you before she was my best flyer, but I was on a tiny, tiny plane that day, and the flight attendants and the pilot were like, "She's never going to fit under the seat. You have to give her her own seat." And they really insisted that I give her a seat. So I did. And she loved it. And the 3rd picture, it's a picture of me outside on the day that I graduated with my doctorate degree in psychology. And I had my 2nd guide dog with me, Albie again. And then my 1st guide dog, Genevieve, was retired by then. She was 13, I believe, in that picture. Maybe 12 or 13, but she was retired living with my parents. But of course, my parents came for my graduation, right? And so they brought her with me. So she was there with me that day, but she's pretty old, so she's laying down on the picture as well. But she's also a beautiful black and tan German Shepherd. So those are the photo descriptions for anybody who's visually impaired. And then hopefully I'll get my end screen in there as well, which I haven't used in forever. But it's a picture that says, "Thank you for watching," and it's spelled out in blue and red yarn. And of course, thank you for watching. Okay, hopefully that's the last time you hear from me now before I post the video.